What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to learn how to drive stick shift. So, first of all, we're going to get into some basics. Then we're going to talk, regular driving and some secret tips that you might not know about stick shift. Let's get into it. So, this is the steering wheel. This is your shifter. Alright, it's not going to be that basic. Driving a manual isn't that hard. People just get scared because they don't want to stall or anything like that, and it's really not that bad if you stall. What's actually worse is if you ride the clutch while you're trying to go, which riding the clutch, you mean you have the clutch pushed in, you have it in first gear, you rev it super high, and then you let go of the clutch super slow. And what that's doing is just grinding your clutch into the flywheel before it really engages, and you're just wasting your clutch away. Alright, so let's get started with some basics. They're important, we all know. Put your seatbelt on. Alright, second, you need to find the perfect seat position for you, because you don't want to be too far back that you can't push the clutch all the way in, and then you don't want to be too close, because then it's going to be hard to get off the clutch. So you need to find that right spot where you can push it all the way in to where your leg is not fully extended, but just barely bent. And I would say that's the right seat position for you. Alright, so also to turn the car on, you have to push the clutch. And then you can do it in any gear so long as you have that clutch pressed. And then once the car is on, you want to put the car in neutral if you're going to let go of the clutch. So always have the car in neutral if you're not going to have the clutch pressed. And that's why a lot of people, you see them going back and forth with the shift knob right there to make sure that they're in neutral. I do it all the time. I probably do it like 100 times a day. But you always want to make sure you're in neutral if you're going to be parked with the car running. Alright, so depending on what kind of car you're in, is going to dictate whether you have 5 gears or 6 gears. So on mine, it's pretty obvious because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And always 1 through 5 is always going to be the same. And then from there is where it gets a little tricky. If you have 6 gears, 6 would be where reverse is. But in this car, reverse is where the 6th gear would be. And there are some cars where reverse is past first gear on that side. So you just have to be cognizant of what's on there. Usually it'll tell you on the shift knob. But today we're driving my 2003 Subaru WRX, which I just hit 230,000 miles today. I was gonna record it, but I kind of missed it. Alright, so here we have our pedals. Which one's which? Okay, no. This one is the clutch. Any car that's manual that you get into, the clutch will always be all the way to the left. Gas, brake, same as every other car. Only difference is now you have the clutch. Alright? Okay, so we're ready to take off. So first you want to put your foot on the brake, and you can release the emergency brake. Then put your foot on the clutch, push it all the way down, take your shifter all the way to the left, forward for first gear. So now, what do? A lot of times people are scared to stall. You can't be scared to stall. You're going to stall. It's going to happen. If you're a new driver, you're going to stall one day or another day or a million times or barely few. But you are going to stall. So then, if you're not on a hill, you can let go of the brake. If you are on a hill, I would probably suggest not starting and practicing on a hill. But start somewhere flat, take your foot off the brake, and then let go of the clutch very slowly. Very slowly. And you'll feel when the car starts to move forward. A lot of times I'll push it back in as soon as I feel that. But don't let the car stall. Just barely feel it starts moving forward, push the clutch back in. But don't push it in as far like that. So what I like to do is I like to give it some gas and then let go. Gas, let go. Gas, let go. Gas, let go. And I let go more and more every time, and the car starts rolling. Gas, let go. Gas, let go. Until finally I can let go of the clutch and press the gas and then go into the woods. But I'm not gonna do that. Alright, now I'm somewhere with a little more of a runway. So there is another way of doing it, which you would push the clutch in, put it in first gear, and now you would let go to where you feel the clutch start pulling the car, and then you just give it gas a little bit, and then you let go of the clutch slowly, and then take off like that. Some cars are gonna be harder than others to drive manual. You just have to feel out the clutch. And like this car is a little harder to do that with. So a lot of times I like to do it where you let go of the clutch slowly and then push back in and give it gas. That's the race car way to do it, people say. So you just keep like feathering it and the car starts to move. Let's stop. See if I can get both in here. So let go of the brake, let go of the clutch slowly, give it some gas, press the clutch in, give it gas back and forth real quick. That way I'm not riding the clutch, but then when it grabs, I'm already rolling. So then I can let go of the clutch and give it gas. Another thing that's very important, when you're coming to a stop and you're in gear, you have to push the brakes and the clutch at the same time. Every time you're in gear, you have to whoop, just like that. Because if you're in gear and you come to a stop, you are going to stall and your car's going to turn off, which is the same thing. So now let's get into shifting. From first, we go straight down to second like that. So we take off whichever way. I like to feather a little bit, and then let go of the clutch, give it gas. So to shift, you're gonna push the clutch in, shift the second, and then you're gonna do the slow method where you pull the clutch out slowly, and then you give it gas. Another thing to note is where to shift at. So it depends on the car, but for my preference, I usually like to shift at 3,000 RPMs. Okay, so if you're in first, you're driving 3,000 RPMs, come down, you push the clutch in, put it in the second, let go of the clutch slowly, and give it gas. And then you keep going. Same thing for every gear. If you're in second, you push the clutch in, put it in third, let go of the clutch slowly, give it gas. So let's talk about the actual shifting some more. When you're second gear, let's say I'm going 3,000 RPMs, I can push the clutch in, put it in third, and I can leave it there. I can let go of the clutch slowly, I'm not pressing anything, and then give it gas. So it's not super important because people just worry about it so much, like, oh, how do I shift? How do I shift? And it's not that big of a deal to shift so perfectly because it's not gonna stall and you can put it in gear. So as long as you get it in that next gear, let go of the clutch kind of slow, you'll be good to go, and then give it gas. But to shift better, let's take off and do it again. First, I'm gonna shift second, and then I'm gonna start giving it gas as I'm letting go of the clutch. So at the same time I'm doing it, so it's nice and smooth. So I'm gonna do it here again. I'm in second gear, taking off, 3,000, clutch. I'll start pushing the gas as the clutch is coming out. We'll go again, fourth, start pushing the gas again, and then that way you shift smooth. And for me, what I practice and try to do is try to shift as smooth as I possibly can. So the most important thing to do, put it in that gear, let go of the clutch slowly, and then you can give it gas. So another thing to drive even smoother is that when you're downshifting, you want a rev match. So if you're slowing down, coming to a turn or anything like that, you push the clutch in, give it gas to get the RPMs higher, and then you shift into the lower gear, and then it'll go in smoother. So let's say you're coming to a turn while you're driving, you're in third gear. When you come to that turn, you want to downshift before you start turning, and then you can give it gas after the turn. But you always want to be in gear while you're turning. You don't want to be in neutral, because in case you have to give it gas, then you're scrambling to put it in gear. You always slow down, downshift, turn, and that's if it's not a stop sign turn. I'm saying if you're just going through a curve, you always downshift first and then turn. The number one mistake I see people make when they're trying to drive manual is they let go of the clutch too fast, especially when they're trying to take off just normal. You just let go of the clutch too fast. Second mistake I see a lot of people make, and this is people who know how to drive manual transmission, is they give it way too much gas. They press the gas way too hard, and you don't want to do that. So another great thing about a manual car is if your battery dies or it's just not starting, another great thing you can do is you can push start it. Whoa. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so if you're broken down and you got people behind ready to push, get them back there. And if you don't have anybody and you have a pretty, good service that it could roll downhill a little bit, you could get out there and push yourself, run in and do this. I've actually done that myself many times. But so what you do, let me get on this hill right here. It's pretty steep. Should be able to do it with my car to show you. So I'm gonna turn my car completely off. All right, car's off, keys are out, but you want to put the keys in. Put the keys in, put it on the on position all the way as if the car is on and running. You're gonna push the clutch, obviously keep your emergency brake down, put the car in first gear, and then you're gonna have them push or roll or whatever. Right now, we're starting to roll. I'm starting to let go of my clutch a little bit, give it gas. I just popped the clutch. See? Now the car is on. I let go of the clutch all the way and then push it back in. And then now I'm in gear, the car is on, and we're good to go. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Good luck on driving manual. Just remember, practice, practice, practice. That's the only way you're really gonna get better. See you guys next time.